Hello Libra, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Libra is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It's totally free, it doesn't cost anything. If there's something you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Libra, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we start with the Seven of Pentacles. Keyword for this card is failure, but it might seem at the moment as if these seeds are not sprouting. It might seem as if something you're working on has failed to launch, right? Don't be so quick to give up, okay? Sometimes failure is just the prototype for success, okay? We don't turn and run, we don't tuck tail and go home as soon as the first kind of problem arises, okay? So let's put some more cards out. Let's see what this is. Let's see where we're going with it, all right? A Four of Cups. Okay, that's exactly what we're talking about here. We try to be okay with it. We're trying not to freak out. We got the Seven of Pentacles, and then the Four of Cups on top is it's not the devastating news that we thought. Nothing is really happening, right? This thing is not. It's not taking off yet. It hasn't thrived. You're not rich and famous yet. We're trying to be okay with it. We're trying to acknowledge and accept the fact that, yes, sometimes there are setbacks, and that's okay. We're trying to convince ourselves to be calm about it. We have the Princess of Swords. I think that's very significant. Two of Swords. Yeah. Now we've got your ambition. We've got your devil energy, right? That's a great card. And we've got the World. Look at that. If we continue with it, look at the major arcana. Look at that. If we keep going, if we stick to our drive, if we maintain our commitment and our enthusiasm and our fire, and we keep pushing and striving for this, it will all come to fruition, right? Everything you want is here, is arriving. But it's hard in this moment to see that things are going to be okay, right? We're trying to convince ourselves. We're trying to just settle our heart down. We're not happy, we're not sad, we're just kind of like, okay, I'm just gonna try to keep going here. And the Princess of Swords, I think, is us trying to figure out what went wrong here. What are we supposed to learn from this situation? Okay, what are we supposed to learn? And we've got a Two of Swords, of course. We've got Wheel of Fortune, look at that. This is the divine timing. This is Spirit's wristwatch. This is the cosmic timepiece. And it says, your time is now. Right? Everything you want is here. It's coming. Right? It is going to arrive. And now is your time. But you can't let this past or maybe current, kind of setback or failure or this, it seems like things haven't sprouted yet. No, they will be. They will be. It's going to be happening right now. Right? Yeah, now we've got more major arcana, the Eon card. This is also called the Judgment card. This is rebirth, reawakening, baptism by fire, right? This is us kind of emerging as this reborn being into our new life, into our new future, okay? So it seems like things are kind of dark and dormant right now, but just give it another moment, and things are really significantly going to change. Since we had these, we've had all major arcana, right? We run around this way. Then we had major, 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 major. And then finally, we're feeling a certain way about it. And then at the end of all this, we're going to have to really get in touch with ourselves and be like, wow, is that real? Right? We got the Queen of Cups here at the end, and that's a depth of feeling. And this is us being honest with how we feel. This is radical self-acceptance. This is emotional transparency. And you're going to have a lot of emotions to deal with when this all takes place. There's going to be relief. There's going to be shock and awe. There's going to be happiness, tears of joy, right? It's a lot of water energy there. A lot of different feelings, right? There is this kind of sense of thankfulness, of gratitude that I'm getting, okay? Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is the random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. And we're just going to set it down over here. We're going to put Alien Simon Mork Ripley right there on top. And we're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together and give us our confirmation. If at any point during this reading you feel like you know what that card might be, and I think you're going to have a pretty good prediction. Put it down in the comments, right? Let's do it together. Let's all try. Make it a group exercise of intuition. Let's make it interactive, yeah? All right, let's look around here at the room again. We obviously have a lot of major arcana. This is something that we thought kind of fizzled out, but we're being very significantly surprised here, right? And I think that, I think maybe that we already kind of, we tried to settle our heart, and maybe we just said, hey, you know what, it didn't work out. Yeah, it's all right. It's, you know, I'm going to try not to be devastated about it, but I wish it could have been something more, but, you know, I'll deal with it. I'll be okay, right? And as we're doing this kind of thing, suddenly, wait a minute, I see something moving in the dirt, you know, and suddenly all the flowers start blossoming and blooming, all the life starts growing around you, and it's overwhelming, right? It's overwhelming to suddenly, we kind of like we wrote something off. We had already written it off and said, it's done, you know, I'm over it, you know. But then the real magic starts to happen. We have all of this major arcana card, all of this. And it really, this is about us striving in the universe and kind of sticking with our drive, sticking with our creative energy, our ambition, not giving up, not quitting. The Devil card is standing on top of this, what we thought was maybe a pile of rubble. Maybe we thought, well, this is the garden that nothing grew in it, right? Well, I'm going to step over that and I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep trying. And then look what we're being rewarded with. The Wheel of Fortune. This is expansive growth. This is Jupiter energy, right? It's all about growth and expansion and success. And I think that this is kind of the, well, especially with the Universe card, there's this idea of the Wheel of Time, right? And it's just kind of saying, yeah, maybe these seeds didn't grow when you thought they would. But things aren't always going to happen when you think they should or, you know, that they ought to. The universe doesn't need our approval, right? The divine timing doesn't need our consent, doesn't even really need our participation, you know? So we thought something was kind of done and over with. I think Spirit has a different message for you. All of this major arcana energy, and then, of course, we don't have fire. We've got water, air, and earth. And I think the earth is really the center of it all. There's something that didn't materialize the way you thought it would or at the time and place that you thought it would. So you kind of, with these two cards, we kind of have the idea of time and place, right? We have the idea of time and place. And I think that you're handling it very well, right? Maybe this was a business that didn't quite work out. Maybe this was the relationship that didn't quite work out. Or at least that's what we were thinking, right? And the Two of Swords is in the background position. I don't think that you're indecisive in any way. I think that indeed you kind of have a expectation. I'm feeling this energy that it's kind of like we want what we want when we want it, how we want it, you know? And when things don't work out that way, I think we're very quick to be like, okay, it's over. I'm done. I'm over it. I'm moving on. Don't be too hasty. We don't see fire energy here. So the idea is, don't be impulsive. Don't, it's just like you plant some seeds, you're staring at them, 5 minutes go by, they didn't grow. So then you just like till the field. You just, you use the rototiller, you know. I don't know if anybody still uses the rototiller. But you just like destroy the whole thing. You just, you put sand on it or something, right? It didn't work. Wait, give it some time here, Some things take more time to grow than we would like. It's the age-old aphorism, that my mom used to say to me, the watched pot never boils. And I think there's a little bit of that going on, but now the fire energy is not here. So I think that you're slowing down. You're trying to just be observant, right? We've got the Princess of Swords down at the bottom. You understand that there's a lesson in here somewhere. And as much as my heart is just kind of, I'm trying not to feel too terribly, the Four of Cups, trying to just kind of ice it down a little bit so my heart isn't so raw and emotional. And I'm trying to just be okay. I'm trying to dry my eyes, and figure out what went wrong. What do I need to learn from this thing? What is it about these seeds that didn't work? Did I use the wrong dirt? Are these even seeds? Maybe they're buttons. I don't know. Is it the right season of the year? Did I give it enough water, sunlight? Was I nice enough to the seeds? Did I pray enough over the dirt here to make it happen? What did I do wrong? Well, this is all very good. These are good questions to ask, right? Sometimes it's just going to take another minute or two, right? We're already in this whole intricate process of, taking the prototype and re-engineering it. We got the whole team together and we've taken the thing apart and we're tracing every wire, every bit of code, and we're trying to just do all this refinement. But then there's that one person in the room that says, everybody, wait. Let's give it another minute. I feel something here. It's not something I can point my finger at, but I feel something here. And sure enough, the thing starts working. The flowers start blooming. And I think it really just starts taking off and it starts snowballing. The wheel starts turning and faster and faster and faster. Things start growing everywhere. And it's a celebration. It makes you want to laugh. It makes you want to cry, right? It makes you want to jump for joy. And I think that this is one of those occasions. So don't write this thing off yet. It's not over yet. It didn't flourish when you thought it would. But we're going to just give it another minute, right? You've got this devil energy up above you. You have a real ambition about you. I feel that you're on a really productive streak. Maybe at work, maybe in your personal life, your art, whatever it is, music, I don't know. Maybe you're a writer, maybe this is building physical things or you're crafting stuff. But you've been on a real winning streak, really fast-paced, really productive, right? And then something hit the brakes. Now we've got this. I got the Seven of Pentacles. What happened? I was on a roll. And then bam, something just didn't work, right? And sometimes this drive to create can get a little carried away. Sometimes then we're on this roll and we think, the fire to earth thing, right? We think I have this will, this intention, I initiate something, I get the inspiration, it manifests. Idea to implementation. I just go, create. It's my hand out in the world that is making things happen. Yeah. And then when something doesn't quite go our way, because if you look, this Seven of Pentacles seems kind of out of place. It's just a dark spot in the middle of my table, right? I don't like it there. And sometimes when that happens, and it seems so out of the ordinary, everything else has been working. Suddenly now, this is just stalled out, or the seeds aren't growing, or you mean something I'm doing is not working right now? What are you saying to me? We can get a little bit aggressive about it. Our creative drive becomes a little bit of an aggressive drive where we're just trying to force it, or we're just saying, oh yeah, tear the cards in half, right? We don't like what we're seeing. We don't like what we're hearing. We're just going to smash it. And we're trying not to smash it right now. Okay. Because what we're trying to do instead is calm down, think about it. What did we do wrong? What might we have overlooked? What do we need to learn from this? Let's try to do the right thing and not smash it, but let's learn from it. But again, in the process of you doing this work, everything's going to start actually working. And we're going to be really glad we didn't smash it, because it turns out there's nothing wrong with it after all. It just took a minute to get going, right? Could be a relationship, could be a career thing, it could be a project at work, a project at home, could be your garden, right? Whatever it might be, Sometimes we're on our phone, we're trying to get a YouTube video to play. We're hitting the play button. It's not playing when I say it play. We're not going to just break the phone, right? We're not going to curse YouTube. We're going to put it down. Maybe we got to reboot, right? Maybe we have to refresh the page or something, right? It'll work, yeah. And then then we get this joy, we get this overwhelming gratitude, thankfulness, this tears of joy, right? Tears of joy. Okay, now where was I? Oh yes, the universe card. Sometimes the universe will surprise us, right? Sometimes what we've been waiting the longest for, like it's testing our patience, right? It's testing our ability to, rather than smash something, to look at it more closely, right? The universe works in mysterious ways, right? It may be something that we really, I feel like we really thought this was done. But here it is kind of becoming alive again. There's a rebirth of it, right? And we have those kinds of cards. We have the Eon. We have the Death card. There is this idea of life that does not die, right? You cannot stamp out consciousness from the universe, And also there is this idea that success takes many forms. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. Spirit's telling me that maybe this is flourishing and growing in a way that is beyond what you thought it was supposed to be. Okay, maybe unexpected benefits, maybe a relationship or a project that didn't turn out the way you wanted it to, but nevertheless is very successful, but in a different way. Okay, I also feel like this is something that you've been working a long time on. You've been working very, very hard and very diligently on this thing. This is the card of completion. This is the card of everything being perfect the way it is. Everything happens when it's supposed to happen. And I feel like this is, in some ways, this is like renewing your faith in the world a little bit. This is, I don't know, it's a big thing for you. It's something significant, This card also reminds us that we can't impose our own limitations and restrictions and expectations on the universe. If it's us against the universe will win every time. Okay? So we can't pigeonhole energy. We can't say, well, this is just, I need something now. I cannot wait any longer for it. I think when we make those kinds of appeals to the universe, a lot of the times Spirit will just say, oh, you can't wait? Well, guess what? We're going to wait. But I feel like now everything is really coming together in a very balanced way, and the harmony is restored, right? Very, very beautiful energy. And I don't know what this is exactly, right? Because you've built something, you've put something together. Okay, and maybe it seemed like it didn't work or isn't going to work, but then it does. So I don't know if maybe it's a relationship, but it feels more like a business thing, more of a like a project or some kind of a group effort, even, right? But the harmony is restored, and the Wheel of Fortune on the other side here. I think that it kind of feels like luck, And I don't know if you believe in luck. I don't really. I believe in luck, but then I kind of don't, right? I feel like luck is really just the universe rewarding us for maintaining the harmony, right? For not freaking out, for trying to stay in control of our energy. You're really, with the Four of Cups, it's not easy work for you. We want to rage against the universe here. We want to get mad. We want to smash something. Our creative drive, our devil energy really wants to just break it and run and just keep going and just mayhem, right? It kind of wants to become a destructive drive, right? But we're not doing that. We're not allowing that to happen. We're staying in control. We're trying to stay balanced. Trying to wait to see what's going to happen and see what we can learn from this situation. And the wheel is turning. And I think, when this happened, it felt like we were between the rubber and the road. It felt like we were kind of getting squished. It felt like we got run over, right? But I think the wheel is coming back around, and we're getting restored to this kind of joy and success and pleasure. But it's kind of there is a lesson in there, When we are down, we get so down. We get this destructive drive, and we just want to tear the cards up, right? And then when we're up, we're so up. We feel like I'm never going to ever be down again. And then when we're down, we think, I'm never going to get out of here. I'm just going to be squished for the rest of my life, We go through these extremes. And, Libra, you're all about the scales, the balances, right? But I think because you are the scales, that you're prone to those extremes, right? But I think what you're learning is that equilibrium. You're learning that, hey, the wheel's always going to turn. Some days will be up, some days will be down. There will always be, another part of the wheel coming round. And what we try to do is stay in the middle of that wheel. If we're the axle of the wheel, right, then we're not subject to the dizzying turn of the wheel all the time. That we still see it and experience it, but it doesn't throw us for a loop. That we're able to stay centered. We're able to stay calm and relatively peaceful when things don't go according to plan. Okay. But now that we realize that this is flourishing, that something is happening here, that everything that we wanted in this situation, I think, is being revealed to us. Everything is coming. Everything's here. Things are exactly the way they should be. The world is the universe is perfect the way it is. Everything is right. Yeah. Then we get to experience the Eon or Judgment card. We're transcending. Not only is this a situation that is leveling you up in your life in some way, either creatively, financially, physically, in terms of career or business or your personal life, relationships, whatever. There's some kind of transcendence here, a leveling up, of your terrestrial life. But there's also this kind of spiritual evolution taking place. We see the Eon and the Death card. That maybe we're realizing how we kind of, how we experience our creative drive, our ambition, right? This desire to climb this mountain. And maybe we're realizing that we are subject to those extremes still. Maybe we thought we had everything perfectly balanced, right? Maybe the Two of Swords here. We thought we were always kind of perfectly zen. What we're realizing through this situation is that, whoa, I still got work to do. That's not a bad thing. It's not a slight. I'm not talking smack. We all do. And how good is it? How lucky are we that the universe will show us where we need to do more work, right? So we're leveling up spiritually. There's an activation of awareness in you, and we're realizing that we have a lot more road to cover in our lives. We have a lot more self-work, a lot more spiritual work to do. Okay, so we see kind of a overnight change, right? Suddenly everything we want is here. Life is perfect. I'm happy. This is extraordinary, right? These two. It's kind of sudden. But then we get the Death card, and the Death card is slow and gradual change. Okay? So it's kind of as if this leveling up, this kind of everything is perfect, we're getting everything we want, this is just the beginning of the next phase of your spiritual work. Right? And I think it's a spiritual work that is leading you deeper into your emotions, into your desires. And I think that you're being called on to be very transparent with yourself about how you feel the extremes of emotion, extreme despair, and then extreme, excitement and success and triumph and joy. You're not a dull person by any means, right? But I think right now the Four of Cups is really giving us the clue of what it is. I think maybe we've learned through our lives as kind of an adaptive defense mechanism kind of thing, not to smash our toys, right? Not to be destructive. That we try to not feel those extremes of emotion and rather just stay in a nice Four of Cups. Well, that brings up this whole other issue. Is that healthy for us to do? Is it healthy for me to feel a certain kind of rage or a certain kind of extreme happiness, but just kind of deny it and just kind of try to breathe it away and repress it and push it down and just be like, no, I'm fine. It's the whole, Seinfeld, serenity now kind of idea, And I think that we're ignoring a lot of our emotions. So it's through this situation of yours that you're coming to discover what the next phase of your spiritual work is. Okay, so there's a lot of moving parts here. And discovering that we are complex emotional beings. And every emotion that we have, there's a place for it, there's room for it. But sometimes we have to figure out what's going on there. We have to look inside and say, why do I feel this extreme emotion right now? Something didn't go exactly according to my watch, my clock, and here I feel this rage, this urge to smash everything. I'm not going to, but why do I feel that way? So it's the beginning of this kind of depth work, this emotional work that I think it's important for us to consider. Yeah, I want to look at the mystery card though. I feel like everything you want is here, right? But that's almost like, yeah, okay, that's off to the side. What's the real issue here? I think the real issue is maybe how we react to that Seven of Pentacles. And it's almost like we're reacting in such an extreme way, or we feel an urge to react in that extreme way. I don't think you are because of the Four of Cups. We feel the urge to react in an extreme way, and instead we're trying to just stabilize and not act that way. But the real question is, why do we feel that urge to act in that extreme way? Well, let's see what the mystery card might tell us. I think maybe it's going to be the Justice card, right? Your power card. I don't know what this is. Something introspective. Maybe the Hermit. Maybe a Three of Swords even. I don't usually say that. If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. Let's see what we have. A Nine of Wands. It's exhausting trying to hold these emotions back, It's exhausting trying to channel this rage into calm, Four of Cups, a little bit of, let's just think about it rationally. Trying to contain our feelings. It's tough work. I also feel like this card is about all the hardship that you're enduring in your life. Even though it feels like you're very productive right now, right? But it's at a cost. It's really costing you a lot of your vital energy to be so productive. Okay? And so I think that the universe is really giving you a reward for this effort. I think that you're getting now, this thing is working out in the way that you want it to. Okay, so it's kind of like you can rest now, right? Nine of Wands. You've really been giving so much of yourself to this, I feel like last few months. Intensely productive, intensely creative, but at a very high cost, very draining, right? Physically and vitally and emotionally. It could be that you're just so exhausted. That's why there's these extreme emotional reactions. But I think the universe is saying, okay, you've proven that you really want this. you know. I think this is a good card, and to me it means that, hey, you've struggled, you've gotten beat up enough by all this work that you're doing. It's been very productive, but you're not without your cuts and scrapes and bruises and stuff. And now it's time for you to get the reward and rest a little bit and do this more emotional introspective work. Right? So maybe we're entering a new phase of things. Well, we see that with the Eon card too. This is the doorway to the future. Maybe the future is saying, look, you've put in enough effort in this particular period of time. It's time for you to go inside and rest and do this more introspective kind of work. Yeah. I think this is very good. I want to thank you for being here. There is an extended reading up at the top. There's a link down below. New readings for Libra every Wednesday and Saturday, 6 a.m. Chicago time. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free. Doesn't cost anything. And leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.